Hey, you're watching Moreau Family Farm. My name is Jennifer. Welcome. So you guys, yesterday I had left all of my seedlings. I left them out last night just to see how they would do, because I've been giving them, you know, like an hour here and there and stuff like that. And these perked up a lot. Actually, these were all like this guy here. So they are definitely starting to perk up a little bit. You can see there's some wilting in this leaf right here. It was much colder than I had expected it to be last night. I should have checked the forecast and I did not. But they are coming back to life. We still got, I mean, I don't know if this guy's gonna make it here, but these froze. It's so crazy. It's alright. These stayed inside. So, and as you can see, my little garlic's starting to grow finally. This one's not doing so well though, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. My lettuce here, it's sprouting, but again, it's still taking some time. I don't see any roots down on the bottom, but cabbage is growing. Got some broccoli going. Some candy cane peppers, which I did not think that these were gonna grow. There's a little seedling that's popping up right there. These are a variegated leaf, which is gonna be really pretty. I'll show you guys that once they start growing bigger. You'll notice that the leaves will start changing colors a little bit, and the peppers will also be different colors as well. Nothing yet on the squash and zucchini, but it's only been a couple days, so I'm sure those will start sprouting. There was something else I wanted to show you guys. Oh, is this it? Yeah, my jalapeno peppers. So these things look really, really sad this morning, and they perked up, so that's good because I didn't want to lose all the jalapenos. The tomatoes are still doing amazing, so I still have them outside. I can zoom in. It is chilly out there today, guys. It is like 40 degrees, and when you get used to all this nice warm weather, it is really hard to go outside. But my tomatoes are all doing really well. They're standing up, they're hardening, and I want them to get used to the weather. I have to run outside. It is my 1 o'clock feeding time, which I think after today, I am going to change it to 12 o'clock because of Piper's milk production. I think she'll do better. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna go see what her udder looks like. But before we do that, I wanted to take a quick glance at, for one, we'll start here with the green stalk. We don't have much going on. Don't look at these yet. It's just because they're not planted. My onions are actually, they're hanging in there. These are the onions that I started growing inside my house, and we probably should have just put 2 to a stalk, but we did 3. They started to die out. I cut back their stems a little bit, snipped off some of the green because it got really, really bad. And it stayed green for a while, but now they're drying back some. I have to do more research on onions. I really don't know much about them. These are all the tomatoes. Now, before I even put them out here, these are the transplants that I did, and there are a couple, like there is nothing in this one, so I actually need to put a new seed in here. But these are doing amazing. So these are the cherry tomatoes. Oh, sorry. These are the cherry tomatoes. 4th of July is doing really good. And then these are mostly flowering plants. They're a combination of zinnia and cosmos. And there's a couple things over here, like the cherry tomatoes did not make it over here, or the 4th of July, or my indigo pulled tomato. I have one Brandywine Baker's Creek tomato that made it, and some sweet peppers that are starting to grow. They're not going to grow out here though, it's a little too cold for them, but I am trying to harden up these other ones. So because they did well last night with the cold weather, I'm going to leave them out just because they're doing well. My mint is really starting to come back again. If you guys don't know, mint is a perennial. So if you plant some mint, keep it in a container or else it will take over everything. But it will come back year after year. So for those of you that really love mint, I'm not a big drinker. Actually, I don't really drink at all. But every now and then during the summertime, I do like a mojito, or my sister turned me on to Moscow mules this past summer vacation for us. It was for my sister and my birthday, which my birthday is the end of August and my sister's is the beginning of September, so our birthdays kind of run together. But anyways, we all went to the panhandle of Florida, and we went to Panama City, we had a blast. It was so much fun. The kids went. My husband wasn't able to go. He stayed home and took care of the animals. We really had a great time, and I kind of started to enjoy Moscow mules. It's just a really nice light drink, and like I said, I'm not a drinker, but every now and then during the summer when it's really hot, it's nice to have a refreshing drink. So mint is really good for that. And of course, mint is great for a lot of different things. You can make tinctures. It's good for headaches. So lately we've been letting Peppa, our pig, out. But today we had a little escape artist. So as you can see, Mr. Timmy here, this is Tiny Tim. And all of our pigs are mini Juliana pigs, and they do not get that big. So I believe that it's a good possibility that Peppa is pregnant. Please don't bite me. This guy is not the friendliest pig. You guys have seen my videos. Like, he doesn't really like to be pet. Now, he wants Peppa to come out, though. So he's over here visiting his girlfriend. And, he won't go anywhere, so I'm just gonna let him out and let him stay out for a bit, just so he can show off his running legs. But I'm not gonna let Peppa out because the two of them will just start wandering all over the place, and they go into my neighbor's yard and stuff like that. So when it's one-on-one, they're fine, but when they're both together, they cause problems. And I was saying that I do believe that Peppa is pregnant. She is starting to get a little bit of a belly, but she's starting to fill out a little bit. And she's a fairly thin little piggy, so her belly is starting to hang a little bit lower. It's hard to see right now because she's face on with us. I don't know what you know about Juliana pigs. His size here, this should be as big as he gets. And as you can see, he's long, but he is pretty narrow. He's not a fat pig. They don't really get big in girth, just kind of a little lengthy, short legs, but not like pot bellies where their bellies will get really wide and stuff like that. So he's a timid guy. He's not mean at all. He loves food, as all pigs really do. Now, this is really the first time that Lady has been spending time with the pigs because usually they're in a cage. So she's trying to get used to what's going on with these guys. It is feeding time. As you can hear, our sweet little newbie Hazel is hungry. Now we still have her in a cage during the day. Oh, I have put Hope in here too because when I'm feeding Piper, Hope likes to jump up on the stand. So for right now, Hope has to stay in here. There's Ruby. And then Pebbles is back there. Hope is in here. She was running loose, but she runs in and out of the electric fence. So electric fences do not hold in goats really well when they're little, but as they get bigger, it's fine. Now when they're little and they've been with their mom, they're not gonna leave. They will never leave the yard, and they'll go in and out of the electric fence as they please, which is fine with us. Like, we don't mind that. They're not getting hurt. And if they're stupid enough to do it, then we'll just let them do it because we know that they're not gonna leave the property. So it's fine. But for right now, because of feeding purposes, if there is any kind of grain or anything like that, they will go and bombard whoever it is that's eating. And in this instance, it's going to be Piper because we have to put Piper on the stand. We got to give her some grain. But this little one here is hungry, so we're going to get her up on the stand. She needs to eat, so that's what we're going to do right now. While she's eating, we are gonna take a little walk and we're gonna check on the little chickies. I don't know if they're really coops or just cages, but this one actually is working really well for this situation. Yes, hello, hi. Thank you. I hear you very well. So I put a box in here and I cut open a section in the front so they can really easily just go in there and you know, whatever. It looks like they have no food, but they really do. But for some reason, this, I don't, have you guys ever used these? Do you suggest a better, these feeders are horrible. I really don't like these at all. But the little chickies are doing good. We do have 6 of them, 4 of the black and yellow, and 2 of the all yellow. They're very cute. We don't know what sex they are yet. It's gonna take a long time before we actually do. So they're doing good in here. Mama's been keeping them warm, so they don't need a heating lamp. And it's not like, it's not really cold out, so they're actually fine. Kind of funny, I just realized that one of the roosters is out. This guy over here is not supposed to be out. He is usually in with the girls, but it's usually him with all of these girls. And when you put one rooster with a lot of girls, they will start losing a lot of weight and kind of get a little sickly. It takes a lot out of them. So we had him in here, but because the pig's out, Tiny Tim, as you can see, broke open the cage. So all of the cinder blocks and whatever does absolutely nothing. There needs to be a cinder block in the inside and on the outside, but I'm sure Tiny Tim, if he gets loose again, will just find another area to destroy. It looks like this little one may be done. Hey, Hazel. She looks like she's getting bigger already. I think she grew overnight, you guys. Seriously. Hi, sweet pea. Hi. Oh, yeah, you got a big old belly. She is. She's getting big. She's put on some weight in the last week. I'm sure you guys can kind of tell from just me holding her like this. But she's getting big. Now, she did have some mites. When we got her, she did have some mites. So we had to not really deworm her, but I had to put a bunch of powder on her just to kill the mites that were on her. And I actually did give her some Ultra Boss because I was doing some research to find out what would be a good thing to kill the lice or mites, or I'm not quite sure what it was, to be honest with you. But she had these little microscopic itty bitty little white bugs on her. It was Saturday that I put a bunch of fine lime dust on her. Most people use something called Python, but that stuff is really, really expensive. And it's really the same thing as barn lime, which is completely safe for animals and their skin. So I put barn lime on her, and I noticed that the next day that there were no more little mites or lice or anything like that. But Sunday I ended up putting some Ultra Boss on her because I noticed that there were still eggs, and the powder will not kill off any eggs. Now 10 days from Sunday, so this past Sunday, so Sunday was on Wednesday of this next coming up week, I'm gonna have to do another treatment of the Ultra Boss just to make sure that it kills absolutely everything that is on her. Now, we haven't been letting her around any of the other animals except for Piper, and I actually treated Piper just to be on the safe side. I did put some Ultra Boss on her, which is actually gonna kill anything that comes in contact with her, so she shouldn't have any issues at all. I actually treated all of the goats just to be on the safe side. Even though she is not around anybody else, I want to make sure that nobody gets anything. Parasites, lice, fleas, ticks, all of those things are a major pain in the butt. Once you get them on your property, it is just a nasty mess. So I'm glad I found them early on and took care of them and stuff like that. So just make sure whenever you purchase an animal, I usually make sure that they come from a clean herd, that they have been tested for yonis and coccidia and stuff like that. I'm gonna be getting her checked for yonis. Unfortunately though, if she has it, then I don't know what we'll do at that point. Now I do let her out when all the other goats are out in the pasture. I'll let her out and let her run around and stuff like that. But she's doing really well. She seems really healthy and happy. See, so hey, 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 hey. No, no. Alright, so I'll tell you what's happening in just a second. So here's what happened. Okay. So I told you that this rooster here, our white rooster, don't make the sound of it. This guy here was out of his cage. And our other game roosters, so our other game roosters, they always roam around. There's 2 of them, but they're still kind of juvenile. They're gonna be a year old soon. But anyways, they have been testing each other. So we need to make sure that this guy here, because he's older, needs to be kept behind the gate. Now this is a recent thing. So the last week, it's been a handful with them. We need to make sure that at least this one and the other 2 are separated from each other. Because if not, I don't know if you know anything about game roosters. Other roosters will do it as well. But game roosters are called game roosters for a reason. Anyways, they will fight each other and they'll fight to the death. You don't have to make them fight. It's natural instinct for them. That's just what they'll do. So I just caught him and the other one fighting, and luckily I've been able to separate him. He does have some blood on him around his mouth. I'm not sure if it's blood from the other one, so I'm gonna have to go check the other one just to make sure he's okay. But He does have some feathers plucked from him, and see, as you can see, like his tail feathers were plucked a little bit, which is really not a big deal. But he's got a mark right here. Not a big deal, again. And if you look at his face, he has a little bit of blood on his face, but nothing major. Nothing to really be too concerned about. I'm gonna put him in with the female chickens just because I know he'll be okay in there and not fighting off the other roosters. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and then I'm gonna come and get Piper and put Piper, I'll put her out in the pasture. The only thing is, when I put Piper out in the pasture, her son breaks out of buck pen in the back there, the boys in the back. He escapes all the time, and then he steals her milk, and we can't have him stealing milk right now because she needs to feed the baby. So it's just a mess, guys. So this is the rooster that I'm pretty sure he was fighting with. See, now he's gonna get feisty again. I can feel him moving in my hands. Yeah, he's getting upset. I'm not sure if it was this rooster or if it was the other rooster. They're starting to get into their masculinity, and now she just escaped, so now they're trying to go after her. So it's always a big show around here. It's always something. So when I opened up the door to put him back in, this one escaped, and this is just what roosters do. They will chase her down. All roosters do this, you guys. That does not hurt the chickens. This is completely normal. Go down. Piper, you're so patient. So, I'm gonna put her back. I put Piper back in the pen, and the reason for that is because, like I was saying, her son will escape. He's not quite big enough yet. It's very frustrating, but the only way for us to fix that issue is to either put up some like a netting kind of fence, which is going to cost us a fortune for the area that they have, or we have to put up some more electric fencing, which I guess wouldn't be so hard to do. We have the wire for that. It's just more of a time thing. We've had so many things going on that we just haven't had the time to do that. But now that we really need this milk, before it was just milk for us and our family, which yes, that's really important. But the most important thing at this point is making sure that Hazel gets milk. So if her son, who his name is Casper. If Casper gets out and starts stealing her milk, now Hazel doesn't have any milk. And this only happens for the nighttime feeding. So, I'm gonna leave Piper in here just so I don't have to deal with it tonight, to be honest with you. It's too chilly out here to stay out here all day and keep an eye on the buckling. Now, sometimes what we do is we will get the buck out of the pen over there and put him in here and let her go out and pasture. So they kind of alternate and rotate a little bit of who gets to be out in pasture. And we do this like every 2 days. 2 days she's locked up, 2 days he's locked up. So we're just doing the best that we can for right now. But I am gonna let Hope out now because Hope doesn't need to be locked up anymore. So just to help you guys remember names, this is Hope. This is, it's Breezy, sorry. This is Pebble's little girl. She is one of my favorites. She's not my favorite. My sister picked on me about that. She's not my favorite. She's one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. But she's still a baby. She is actually just about to turn 8 weeks. So, and she nibbles on everything. She's a nibbler. Huh? But she's a good girl. Yeah. She's a good girl. She's very loving. She's almost 8 weeks. She's going to be starting to get weaned soon. Once she is weaned, which that's going to be another challenge too, is weaning this one. So Piper's little boy, Casper, he's like 14 weeks old and is still trying to nurse from mom. So I don't know what to do with that guy. And weaning is really difficult when you actually keep the babies. We normally sell the babies, so we really haven't had to like completely wean them off. They just learn that there's no more milk available, and they do really well with that. She's trying to go to sleep. Look, this girl, she'll fall asleep anywhere. She'll fall asleep anywhere, huh? But I'm gonna let her go before she does fall asleep, because I don't want her falling asleep in my arms, because then I get stuck because I don't want to wake her up. The problems of owning goats. They always get into everything. That's kind of it for today, guys. This went on much longer than I had expected. You know, it's always something. No matter what, you can expect to do just a short video, and then all of a sudden all this ruckus happens. You got pigs that are loose. You got roosters trying to fight. You got pigs pacing back and forth like they want to escape. But anyways, it's always fun, and it's the best life ever. I would not trade it for anything in the world. We absolutely love what we do here on the farm. If you're not a homesteader, I highly suggest doing whatever it is that you can to go get yourself at least, you know, an acre of land. You can have a couple animals on an acre. So, you know, provide some milk for your family. Goat's milk is amazing. I can't speak for all goat's milk. Nigerian dwarf goat's milk is really, really good. I prefer it over whole milk any day. It is just really a smooth, creamy, a little sweet milk, but it is so, so very good. You know, grow some vegetables and get yourself prepared. We have some radishes. Besides my radishes are these, which are bush beans. So if you guys have stuck around this long, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that little subscribe button. Hit the little notification bell so you know the next time that we post a video. We're so glad that you guys stopped by, and thank you guys for the ones that have watched from the beginning and are still here, and the new subscribers that we have. We thank you guys so much for being a part of our journey. Be blessed. Until next time. Bye-bye.